Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Riftwalkers. We'll be keeping the same obligation, that was Sirocco's, and destiny points from last time. Picking up right where we left off, we find Arnor, Coco, and Bread in a room together after everyone else has departed after hearing what Coco expects of them for this gala and the weekend. Coco has just said, "So, juggling?" and given a sly look at Bread and Arnor.
Bread will look from Coco to Arnor to see if he even heard that, because he's been kind of in his own world.
He definitely did not.
Right, well, I think it's plain to see that I'd be getting the best end of that bargain.
Confidence, I like it.
Are you alright, Arnor?
What? Sorry. I'm a little preoccupied.
It looks like the both of you are quite preoccupied, in fact. Do you mind being preoccupied in your own rooms?
I'd like to speak with you if you don't mind.
Oh, well, I hadn't noticed, but of course not at all. Is this a... And her eyes will flit to Arnor. Private engagement?
It is, aye.
Are we quite so sure about that? A third's always more fun.
Alright, fine. I will be going. But I would like to know some more about my family. And why in the blazes Hector would save someone like me, let alone let me parade around with this emblem on my shield.
Oh, well, one of those I'll answer right now, because you're useful, dear. That's why Hector would save you. But there's plenty more time, perhaps tomorrow night, to talk about these things, and we can see how useful you can be.
Very well. Good night to both of you.
Ta-ta.
Arnor leaves.
Bread will go and close the door and then listen to make sure that, as best he can, nobody's out there.
As you turn, she'll just cock an eyebrow and say, "Should I change into something more comfortable, or will this be strictly business?"
I suppose that depends on how this conversation goes.
Oh, dear. A question. I like it. What topic do you wish to broach, my dear boy?
You know Declan Shrike?
The name I've heard, yes.
How?
Take a guess. You're a smart one.
Does Bread have any indication how the connection between him and Declan would have been made? Because to his knowledge, no one else should know except for him, and he has told no one. Aside from Finn on accident, who found out. But now 2 people have shown up knowing who Declan is, ostensibly.
Why don't you make a fun little roll for me? And that roll will be a lore check, 3 difficulty.
Oh, I'm decent at lore. Wow. It pays to be smart. Hooray.
And I'll give you a boost, since this is lore about you.
My own lore. That is 3 success, 4 advantage.
With all that, you do know that stories were passed around after the first outbreak of the plague in Hegemony Lands long, long ago, and especially around its curing later on, or at least the wide dispersal of treatment, since cure is not exactly a possibility when it comes to the Hollowing. However, there are other rumors too, though the nomenclature eludes you, of a figure widely heralded as a bringer of said plague. Names related to such a figure, as I said though, haven't caught your ear.
I'm going to operate under the assumption that your stumble over my name at dinner was intentional.
Oh, I just like to be familiar with those that I meet.
Right, and seeing as nobody within 1,000 miles of here knows my name, how do you?
Oh, I'm sure someone within 1,000 miles of here knows the Fells Reaper, don't they?
Is that what they call Bread? Is this the first time he's hearing that?
That's the first time you've heard that, yes. Or, rather, if you'd like, the Plague Bringer, Vale's Hand, the list goes on.
I think unintentionally, Bread's blackened hand kind of twitches.
Coco will 100% see this little bristling, and she'll make it a point to have, you notice her eyes flit down and then back up to yours.
Yeah. If you're in a boat and there's a lake, you fix it or you sink. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Why not learn to swim?
I suppose that's an option, yes.
I fear it's not quite what you were getting at, though, is it, love?
No, but I also don't think that you're going to give me any answers, it doesn't seem.
I think in my line of work, I've quite found that keeping secrets is more beneficial than sharing them. Once a secret's out, it's hardly a secret anymore, is it? Public information. And information, I found especially since leaving the Vipers and the company behind, is much more valuable than gold and silver and, dare I say, even void.
And what do you propose to do with the information that you possess?
That's a question, isn't it? A wonderful question. And there's the crux of the matter, my dear boy. I don't plan to do anything yet.
Again, the hand twitches. It's almost murderous. Kind of like an instinct to strangle her that he is holding back on.
Coco will notice this again and then just smile. And then she'll saunter over to the window, open it up a bit, letting in a breeze. She'll take in a big breath, and then she'll look over her shoulder at you and say, I do wonder what sort of reputation you wish to curate around yourself, then, if not the names I've heard in passing, the names you shun, no doubt. What do you wish to be known as, Brett? Hero? Savior? Martyr?
I think it's probably far too late for any of that.
That's the wonderful thing. With secrets, with information, men are fickle. The world over. Kin, human, sanguine. Words and such just come in and go out one ear, out the other. People forget. Everyone just latches on to one tragedy, waiting for the next, and then you're nothing again. Maybe that's what you want to be. Nothing again.
That absolutely hits on a kernel of truth in Brett, and I don't think that he can hide that.
You want to try, or?
No. I think it's too raw. Like, he has been just going through the ringer, the gauntlet, emotionally for the last couple of days, and I think that that's just, he doesn't have the energy to disguise that. I don't care what happens to the memory of Declan Shrike. If I did, I wouldn't have killed him.
Bold. Very bold. You intrigue me, I'll admit. All of you do, in fact. Much more interesting group than, well, my own. We all had our flaws, but all of yours are just so much more glaring. More interesting to play with. Now, I do tire. Why don't you make yourself scarce for the evening, or don't go too far, and I dare say, leave your door unlocked and maybe I'll come by and see what else that hand can bristle.
You are aware that I'm sharing a room with Finn, no?
I said, three's a party.
This is not where I expected Brett to be getting propositioned by Coco, even though he absolutely returned that, so. Brett will chuckle, give her a nod, and then depart. He will leave the door unlocked just to see what happens.
We'll see if you can try.
That's the other thing, is that there's like 100 locks on our door.
You hear a shuffling as you climb into bed and see a hobbled old man go click, 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 click. Suffice to say, if you were expecting anything from Coco that evening, you'll be disappointed.
No, he's not expecting anything, he's just curious.
Does Bread make any huff or fuss when he comes into the room?
Brett is not trying to be quiet because he does not respect Finn like that, so... He's not, like, being loud on purpose, but he's not being quiet.
You don't see Finn in the room. The door to the outdoor balcony is open, and he is absent from the room.
Brett will go look out the balcony like, what in the hell?
You see him. He had dragged the chair that was sitting at the desk out onto this small balcony. And for the first time that you've seen, at least, he is smoking a pipe and just sitting contemplatively. And he looks at you as you kind of poke your head out with this weird look on your face. And he says, everything with Coco go all right then?
I didn't get any answers out of her, if that's what you're asking.
I didn't expect you to get any, but... At least you have a good feeling then, no?
A good feeling about what, Finn?
That she will keep things interesting this weekend.
I don't think that any of us need an additional person to keep things interesting.
And he takes a long puff on this pipe. What will you do when all of this is over, Fred? Do you have a home to return to? Again,
it's just like, it hits too close to home. Absolutely, like, the emotion of that is very plain on Brett's face, that, like, no, he doesn't. He does, but he doesn't. It's a very complicated kind of scenario. I don't understand how. You want to make your home in the Maelstrom?
No. As interesting and exciting as that would surely be, what I am referring to is something that I'm not sure you may completely understand. I don't think anybody truly understands, not even myself. Not that the race is too important these days, but I am what on Vranaros they call non-Eldarin, a descendant of those who came to this world from others before the God's Fall event. The generations have diluted, it seems, any sense of this true identity in all other of my kin who I have come across, but for some reason, since my birth, I have always known I was meant to go back to where my forefathers came. The Maelstrom is the key for me to get back.
You do realize I studied medical application of void, do you not?
He kind of just motions with his hand at you, kind of like what you had done to Sirocco earlier, and he just says, I think we both know you are more talented than just medical applications. Whether you fully realize the extent to which of that now or not. Like I said, I do not know all of the details for myself yet, but I wish to at least open the door to a possibility that once our dealings with the Vipers has come to a close, that you perhaps do not take the first exit away from us, but instead, if an opportunity and a way presents itself, be willing to help an old man in his final request to get some semblance of rest in a place he calls home.
Well, when you phrase it like that, how's a doctor supposed to refuse?
It is what I was hoping you'd say. No, and he kind of taps out his pipe, stands up, and he just stretches up, kind of runs his hands across the pockets of his vest. I think I should be getting to bed. But first, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the cloth that he had wrapped up this device in before, and he creaks it open, and all movement, like just his natural kind of shifting and whatnot, just stops. Then he becomes just completely frozen. And from the darkened night in this distance, you can actually see that, like, from Finn's face and around his muscles, it starts to get this, like, bluish, pinkish glow. And he's just standing there, frozen, looking at this thing in his hand.
Are you alright?
Did you happen to do anything with that device we had earlier?
No.
And he clenches his fist, and whatever placeholder that there was that Coco had slipped into his pocket just shatters and snaps in his hand. And he looks up at you. He's not fully transfigured yet, but you can tell it's like kind of bulging on this brink of just like his rage state. And he just looks it up, kind of past you. Sirocco. And after just kind of breathing in and out a couple times, he closes his eyes, centering himself, it seems. Just no matter. We can face this at a more appropriate time. Good night, Brett. And, you know, even on his exhales, there's still these kind of wisps of these, like, bluish tendrils that are just vaporizing and escaping.
Good night, Finn.
When morning comes, the halls of the palace already seem a little emptier. Perhaps the seemingly endless flow of alcohol the night before is to blame for the reverent atmosphere and locked doors of many of the estate rooms, but even the staff seem to have thinned. Regardless, it is merely the morning, and left to your own devices for breakfast, there's nothing too out of the ordinary, save for a notice to be present in your wing's foyer by the 10th hour.
Kel wakes up in the morning. She checks all of her stuff to make sure all of her belongings are in place. So she'll check her swords, her staff, her gear. She'll put on whatever clothes are appropriate for this type of event. She doesn't necessarily need to be in her armor or her leathers or anything. So if putting on a dress or something is more appropriate for this space and environment, that's what she'll do. She'll be trying to fit in whatever way she can. She'll also poke her head out the door and kind of look up and down the hallway to make sure that there's like, I don't know what she's expecting to find, but just to make sure that there's nothing serious going on outside and just to check that everyone seems to be all right. And she'll kind of stay in until it's time to go eat, and then she'll head down to the hall, get food.
All right.
Arnor gets up and he looks like he's back to his normal self, going about his regular daily routine. He got up, took a little rinse in the bathhouse, and then Arnor will go ahead and get breakfast, the stuff that's available, and kind of keep to himself.
Fatima is an old lady, so she's been up since 4 a.m.
Naturally.
She woke up, cleaned herself, did her 15-step skincare routine. You don't keep your skin looking good 600 years later without a couple of serums,
Awesome.
some dedicated soap, and most importantly, got to get that sunscreen. Then she actually spends most of her morning. She has a gigantic family tree that she is just kind of going over. She has some correspondence. She's adding names. She's taking away names. It's almost like magically large at this point. If you guys could picture like Marauder's map-esque, the writing kind of appears, yet she can almost drag it across this sheet like a touchscreen. Like the sheet's not tiny. The sheet's huge.
It's an iPad.
Fatima's an iPad kid.
Like, imagine if an iPad were the size of a wall, because it's trying to reflect something the size of a building. So she can, like, scrounge her way around this, and she's just trying to keep track of everyone she's related to. You know, she's dressed, she's ready to go, but she's following her general morning ceremony, you might say.
Sarako will get up, bathe, put on his fancy clothes, his perfumes, and just kind of wander off somewhere, go exploring a little bit, poke around, see what this place has to offer. But he'll return by 10.
Finn spends his morning pretty confined into his room. He's scribbling quite intently into this journal of his that he carries everywhere. With about 30 minutes before 10 o'clock, he grabs his bag and does a quick double check of all of his items, and then he's going to go and knock on Kel's door. And when she opens the door, he just holds out a book. And you will notice that it is the book from a long time ago that went missing, the book of poems. And he just extends it out to you. And he says, I took this from you.
I see that.
It was under orders from Iris, and I have since decided that I no longer wish to do her bidding. And he kind of just holds up one finger, at least when it comes to stabbing those in our group in the back.
Why did she want you to take it?
I don't know why necessarily she wanted me to take it. It had something to do with names that were present within, that she did not wish to be seen or to be able to be tracked back to certain affiliations in the company. Regardless, I would like your help with something. I need to get an item back which was stolen from me. Will you help?
Cal she like blinks for a minute and she's processing, and you are a smart enough man to know that she's processing. He stole something from me. Now he wants me to help him steal something back that was stolen from him. She's like processing all of that in like the split second. And she just like heaves this massive sigh. She's like, all right, who took it?
Sarako. I am 99.65% certain of it.
Percentage. He stayed up all night for that.
That was what he was scribbling in his book.
Kel takes the book of poems and she kind of just leafs through it for a moment and then tucks it away in her stuff. And she'll nod and she'll say, all right, tell me what you need.
And he will just go over, a brief description of what it is. He doesn't make any like plans of how to get it back. Basically just making her aware of what it is. If she happens to see it, maybe grab it if possible, but otherwise they'll talk through it at a different time. And then just ends it with, thank you, Kel.
Before she can even say you're welcome, I just assume he leaves.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
You're like saying it over your shoulder instead of walking away from her.
And then he'll be ready by 10 o'clock.
Brett sleeps very late because he had not slept for like 48 hours. Or some insane
You get all your strain back.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, everyone can have 0 strain. I think everyone already did have 0 strain.
Yeah, no, Brett was the only one. It was just me. He sleeps, like they say, the dead. So when he does finally wake up, I imagine it's quite close to 10 o'clock and is informed of this necessity, probably by Finn returning from Kel's room. He will get up, get dressed, make sure everything is in order. And then Kel has made an effort to befriend him, so he will return the effort to befriend Kel, but probably will make it like out of the room at 10 when it's time for this thing to happen.
You hope to have an idle chat over breakfast, but breakfast ended hours ago. As everyone assembles in the foyer at around 10, none of you have seen any trace of Coco or your other neighbors until this point, which they do arrive. Sirocco is the last to just skirt in right after this attendant practically appears in the doorway that leads into the shared hall from which all of your rooms branch off. This attendant will hold up a little paper and then post it on a kind of empty board that is there at the end of the hall before turning back to all of you and say, "Good morning, esteemed guests of the Palais Aidenselk. A quick reminder to all that the grounds of the Fort Dek Arohi remain off limits. Now, may I present today's agenda? Beginning in 1 hour's time, at the 11th chime, is a small garden informal, located in the Southeast Park Plaza. That will extend until the first hour of the afternoon. Alternatively, beginning at noon, located in the North Wing Common Hall on the 3rd floor, is an exhibition on the Taelic styles of fencing and dueling, presented by Master Swordsman and House Guillen Bastillero, Sir Anthony de Pecule. Beginning at 2, and going until the 3rd hour of the afternoon, you will find a free-form luncheon present in your assigned dining hall on the 1st floor within the Palais's main body. A number of small games will then be hosted on the southern lawn following lunch, to which all are invited to participate in should you so desire. The time between 4 and 6 are yours to utilize the many amenities the Palais offers, as the staff prepares for the 7 p.m. gala. Your arrival at said gala is expected at most a half-hour prior, and we suggest you return to your lodgings by 6 at the latest to prepare yourselves for this combined event. It will take place in the Grand Hall on the 1st floor, and admittance will be barred 15 minutes after the hour. The gala will include dinner and festivities, including performances, gambling tables, and plentiful libations, and it is highly recommended that you make your best efforts to attend. Other activities and movements within the palace will be restricted to your lodgings and the adjacent common halls during the gala, should you choose not to come. The gala will last until midnight, upon which you will be escorted back to your lodgings. I will now field any and all questions for 1 minute. Wonderful, no questions, and he'll turn on his heel and exit.
Well, I heard that we were supposed to be here by 6, right? Something about a duel? Was anyone writing that down?
He posted a schedule.
Oh, good point.
I know your eyesight is greatly deteriorated, Fatima, but it is right in front of you.
I don't know that you should be making remarks on other people's eyesight, Fen.
What, she is 600 years old, I am 60. She is much older than I am.
I see everyone slept well. Great. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, darling. You're ravishing as ever.
Oh, thank you, Fatima.
Your neighbors, the old man and his consort, have departed, but Coco and Kellen Aragon remain in this hallway with a lot of you, and Kellen will actually look over at Sirocco and say, "Well, I do say, that fencing and dueling thing seems quite up your alley. It's quite up mine. Would you care to accompany me, Sirocco?"
I would love to. It sounds fantastic.
Wonderful. Noon, did he say? Is that what it was? Yes, noon. I'll see you then. And he'll stride out of the hall.
Is anyone else suspicious as Vale's hells about not being able to leave the gala?
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but this whole thing's kind of weird when you think about it. It's kind of just how things have been, Brad. Let's be completely honest with ourselves.
He will shrug.
Once one steps into the realm of the ultra-wealthy, one cannot question too much the sense of things, because there isn't any.
I do wonder, Sirocco, if you make anything of them having another Bastillero here. That did seem a bit odd to me.
Is not so unusual. Bastilleros, especially from the greater houses of Tela, would make a very suitable, ambassador for any of those houses. You see, a Bastillero goes with the authority of that house. So any of the houses with great authority could send the Bastillero, and so long as the Bastillero has the signet ring of the house, they can act with complete authority.
It's an entirely stimulating civics lesson. I'm going to find myself in the garden informal for the time being. Ta-ta! And Coco will turn and leave.
As soon as Coco's gone, Sirocco will turn over to Finn, and he will say, "Finn, okay, now that we are alone with everybody, but not outsiders, I think I find a very good investor for the device that you make, so perhaps you let me see it and I can go show the investor, potential investor, and we make a lot. I know you say it's not for investing now, but it's a good amount of money. What do you think?
He just flashes you this wide grin, and he just says, I think that is a great idea, Sorako. Why don't you go look in my room? On the table. You will find it there.
Okay, then I go to your room and get it from the table.
Does he go into the room?
I have to know, are Finn's words as terrifying as yours just were? Was the tone the same? Because that was a horrifying.
Oh, it is bone-chilling.
As Sirocco enters Finn's room, he trips a small wire and an M18A1 Claymore directional landmine explodes.
Blowing off most of the side of the building and Sirocco's face.
No. Nothing as sinister as that. But just to clarify, Sirocco does go to the room.
Sirocco will get up from his chair and he will just make his way back to the rooms.
Do you go into the room or enter it?
Oh dear.
What is going to happen?
As Sirocco goes to the door, Finn is waiting until he gets pretty much at the door. And if he opens it and steps inside, Finn at this point is going to, with a surprising amount of dexterity, whip around, sprint to the door, and shove him into the room and shut the door behind him, locking all the locks.
Sirocco isn't going to, resist this. You take him pretty off guard. So you're able to get him in, and then he'll say, Finn, if you wanted me alone, you could have just asked.
And Finn just points at the table where this opened cloth with some piece of glass or a small figurine that's now shattered sits inside of it. And he just says, I think you know precisely where this device is, Sirocco.
I'd like a response from the outside group at this point.
Since Kel was kind of the only one that knew what was going on, I'll say that the moment Finn says that it's in the room, she kind of turns and looks at the others a little concerned, being like, all right, anyone else know what's going on? Because she has an inkling, but she doesn't really know what Finn is going to do. And the moment Finn takes off, I'll actually say Kel takes a couple steps behind him, but the door shuts before she's able to get there. And the moment the door shuts and she hears the 6,000 locks fucking go up the door, she just kind of puts her head in her hands and pinches the bridge of her nose and then turns around and says, I think we best leave them to whatever they're gonna do. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys.
Fatima is going to walk up to Kel and is just going to be like, what exactly do you think they are going to do?
Finn came to me this morning and said that he was missing some of his items and he thinks that Sirocco might have taken them. And it sounds like maybe Sirocco did. And I think Finn is just trying to get answers out of him. I'm not sure, but he did tell me that this morning. So that's all I can guess about. And it must have something to do with that device that Sirocco was asking about.
Well, I have only known you all personally for a short amount of time. What are the chances of you think this ends up with someone with a sword to their guts?
The chances are likely, but I don't know. Finn has other ways that he'd rather kill somebody than a sword. That's kind of more my thing or Sirocco's thing. But Finn can take his own. He might be an old fart, but he's got it. He's okay.
Inside the room.
Okay, Finn. I do not know what that is on the table, okay? But you know what is on the table? My cards, okay? My cards on the table. Last night, when I go to the bathroom, I come back here to see if I can take a look at the device to talk to the potential investor about, but everywhere I look in this room is nowhere to be found.
And Finn's just staring at you.
Look, I'm sorry I not asked you for your permission before, but I did not think you would go for it because you are very protective, rightly so, of your invention, but...
Sirocco, why do you think I am protective of this device?
Because I think you are very jealous and you think other people do not deserve to look at your masterpiece.
And Finn, at this point, has been kind of taking a couple steps closer to Sirocco, and he just slams his fist down on the desk, and he's starting to get those little glows and tendrils of the blue and purple again, kind of creeping into his eyes and out his nose and mouth. He just says, Sirocco, I do not want that device in the hands of others because clearly there is someone here who means us ill will. That device has the capacity to level this entire palace.
Okay, well, that would have been good to know, but combine that with the knowledge that Coco gave us last night, we are being watched. So, perhaps is possible in big monster man brain of yours that I am not the one who took it, but instead the person who means us ill is the one who took it.
The only person, aside from Bread, who knew of its existence was you.
Finn, I need you to look out there. And he motions towards, the window.
Finn will put a firm hand on the back of Sirocco's neck as he gestures out and kind of turns his head to the outside and just says, "Let's go. Show me what you want me to see out there."
Sirocco will go with him willingly, and he will very slowly, looking right at Finn, reach into a small pouch on his waist, and he'll pull out the spyglass that Captain Aurelius gave him way back when, and he will say, "Now, Finn, using a device like this, I am sure you can comprehend how this one works. Look, you can see the entire garden, but you know what that also means? Anybody else with one of these could also be in the garden, look into the room. So perhaps it's possible during our demonstration the other night, somebody take a little look-see, or perhaps somebody listen in from the balcony over, or perhaps does one of any 100,000 things that anybody with half a brain could do to spy on us. It's not like we are exactly the most discreet. Although I did say to Coco, we'd be very obsequious."
Finn's face does not look convinced at all, but it's clear that he's kind of lost some of just the immediate gut reaction fervor in his feelings towards you. Look, I do not trust you, Sirocco. I do not know what your alternative motives are here, but if you happen to find whoever it was who took this device, it would be in all of our best interests to get it returned to me quickly.
Okay, I do that, but for the record, I do not trust you, Finn, nor do I trust Bread. You know how I know about the spyglass and the garden? Because when we get here, I look with my spyglass into this room from the garden, because I know you two are up to something. Something, how you say, something cunning, some sort of trick. Now, I will look for the device, try to figure out who has it, but perhaps in an effort to make you trust me more, think to yourself, why would I steal the device when that is my and your ticket to lots of gold?
I can think of a couple of reasons. You are short-sighted when it comes to gaining riches. There are already, as you mentioned, investors who want to purchase it. Need I go on?
Look, perhaps I am a little short-sighted, but I am not so short-sighted as to, the saying is, get rid of the golden goose. You are the golden goose. Why would I make you upset when you are the one supplying these devices?
We will discuss this when we find the device.
Okay, very good. We do that then. In the meantime, I try to figure out who it is, and if you could please get your meaty paw off of me, I would very much appreciate not to ruin my fine clothes.
Of course. You will need them. They are most practical in the art of fencing, I have heard.
One cannot do anything if it is without style. And Sirocco will brush Finn's hand off, assuming that Finn has pretty much let go.
Yeah. We should get to the others. There are activities abounding.
You are right. And despite this little mishap here today, Finn, I still believe we can help each other both achieve our goals, ulterior and otherwise.